There's this research report that's really good, 22 research by Jordi Visser, and he said, this highlighted part says, Besson, again the Secretary of Treasury, argued that the US may be entering an environment reminiscent of the 1990s under Greenspan, when rapid technological innovation allowed the Fed to run the economy hot without sparking inflation. Do you know what run the economy hot means? Lower interest rates, print money, let's go. The next highlight is, as digital employees, remember this is the Secretary of the Treasury, as digital employees begin to replace human workers across industries, deflationary pressures from automation will be powerful and persistent. They cannot have the GDP go down. Remember, it always has to go up or they can't pay for all their debts. He's saying he's aware. This guy's a smart guy. He's aware. We're kind of screwed. Like the automation and AI is forcing things down in the GDP. We cannot allow it. At a time when office using job growth is already really, really low. Like it only gets that low during recessions like 2020, 2008, crypto crash. Like this is not a strong government situation. Youth employment, for anyone who's been tracking Canadian youth or US youth, spiking up. The youth graduating universities are having trouble finding jobs. You got the big tech companies that are no longer hiring. Look at growth in total employment, Apple, Microsoft, Amazon. Look before AI came out and after. We're all hiring. They used to grow like crazy. No jobs there. They're actually laying off. All these companies are now, the biggest companies in the world, Walmart, Amazon, Accenture, letting go. And maybe it's not all for AI, to be fair, but they're using AI as a cover, and I don't know if they're gonna be hiring these people back. One report from the US saying 100 million jobs could be lost to AI. Who knows? But I mean, it is serious. Here's what I'm interested in. Look at the energy growth. Look at the amount of energy, power demand from AI in 2025. Can you see that in 2025? Can you see where 2025 is? Now look at like 2030 and 2034. Energy over the next few years is going to be something special. I think Ontario is actually pretty decent in our overall energy grid and the amount of energy we have, but energy is going to be an issue. Oracle is deploying 50,000 AMD chips in a new data center. Do you know how much one of these chips costs? Anybody? One chip is between 25,000 and 40,000. They're like, yeah, we're gonna buy 50,000. So that's like 1.1 billion or something. And then NVIDIA said, well, that's nice, but we're gonna put 100 billion into OpenAI. 100 billion. This is what everyone's making fun of them. Like, where's this money coming from? From like the air or what? 100 billion. Microsoft is going, Nscale from the UK is gonna supply Microsoft with 200,000 NVIDIA chips. These big companies are on a grab for who's going to win this race. OpenAI says, forget that. We'll partner with Broadcom. We'll just start building our own chips. We're going to build our own chips. We need a 10 gigawatt capacity by 2029. To put that in perspective, building just 1 gigawatt of an AI data center capacity costs between 50 and 60 billion. They want 10, according to NVIDIA CEO. That scale puts the project alongside the company's rumored 500 billion Stargate initiative. A long-term plan often compared to the Apollo program of AI, except this time the destination is compute. Remember our trends: debasement, compute, energy, artificial intelligence. Look at this. Morgan Stanley estimates the global data center capital expenditures are going to rise 31% year over year. So the amount of money that's going to go into building data centers is just exploding. The US data center power demand is expected to double by 2028, we're 2025 already, to 95 gigawatts, while 2030 demand is estimated at 117 gigawatts. Okay, now I want you to remember the number 117 gigawatts, okay? So they're saying by 2030, that's gonna be the demand. Remember 117, and now read that. We are headed for something wild when it comes to energy, and no one's talking about it. Compute is quickly becoming the world's most valuable commodity. By 2028, global center spend will hit 900 billion. AI servers are growing at 41% compound annual growth, and the market overall is growing at 23%. Compute demand is growing 10x a year. The supply, not so much. We're possibly entering an era of compute scarcity. There's going to be a time where some of us here in the not too distant future will have access to some artificial intelligence because we can afford to, and other people will not have access just because they'll be priced out. Think about that. There's going to be some sectors of the economy that are going to be advancing with AI because they can afford to pay for it, and there's going to be some sectors that just can't get access to it. And you're going to have to explain to people why maybe you have access to something and someone else doesn't have it. This isn't Google search. A major phase transition in the economy is obvious if you're paying attention. And because I think people struggle, not anyone in this room, but everybody else, your friends and neighbors, are struggling, I want to just go back to, I think this video is the light bulb, what people said about it, and cars. It's really quick. I think it's like 45 seconds. Do we have the audio ready for this video, guys? The audio is going to work? Okay.
It's December 31st, 1879. Thomas Edison makes the first public demonstration of his incandescent light bulb. The incredulous crowd laughs and asks, how could people buy light bulbs if they can't afford electricity? Edison responds, we will make electricity so cheap that only the rich burn candles. This is Fifth Avenue, New York City, Easter Sunday, 1900. Spot the car. Here. This is the same street in 1913. Spot the horse. Here.
In 10 years, see how that street changed? It feels to me we're at the precipice of this change the next 10 years. Like 2035 standing here, I feel like the world's going to look immensely different, very different from 2015 to here. Now, if we look closely at the data right now, look at this. Think of the cars and the horse buggies and how fast that changed. Now look at this. Where's the next labor coming from? Is it coming from humans when you look at this, or is it coming from somewhere else? Like it's being built out right in front of our eyes right now. It's hard to spot. It's not like in your face every day, but look at that data. I mean, it's happening. This week, the US Army announces this. The United States, our partners in the Army, and our commercial partners are going to see rapid, very rapid growth in nuclear energy in the next 5, 10 to 15 years that is hugely beneficial to the US economy and hugely beneficial to the US military. The US Army is talking about putting nuclear reactors on its stations in America. Do you think they think energy is going to be important in the next few years? Their hand is forced, the economic shift is underway, and the economic shift is not waiting for the USA. Look at this. If we lose this, we don't have a future at Ford, says the Jim Farley, the CEO. China added 295,000 industrial robots last year. The US, 34,000. Operation Warp Speed, reindustrialization, go, go, go. There are no people, everything is robotic. Other executives recall touring dark factories that don't even need to keep the lights on, as most work is being done around the clock by robots. The rest of the world is buying robots from China, because we know they're not making them in North America.